Okay, we have the chapter 18 database that consists of two different scenarios that are presented in the book. One is about the student and teachers, and the other is about the cars. Now we have done the three objects of the access part, that is the tables, queries, and the reports. The fourth is the form. A form is basically an interface between the table and the user to input the data. A form makes it very easy for the user, whoever it is, either it's a non IT person, it's a student, or it's a teacher, to make it very easy for them to input the data. When you just give it in the table, then it will be very difficult for them, as it is stated in the book. And here uh, we have to make a form, data entry form, for student data, to make it easier for students to enter their own data. Now these students, they can be about, for grade 6 students, they can be grade 7, grade 10. So we have to, so the form is basically the tool that does the same thing as entering the data inside the table, but its interface is much more user friendly, and it is according to the audience. That is the main purpose of the idea. Now here we have the we have already made the student form. I will show you again how to make it. We have the students table, student ID, forename, surname, the tutor initials for English tutor, math tutor, science tutor, year group. This was a field added after we imported the table, and the tutor, like a separate general tutor for the student. To create the form, you will go to the create tab, you'll go to the simple form, or you can go to the form wizard. When you create the simple form, you have the table selected. You will, when you click on the form, it automatically does everything and gives you the labels and the text boxes. And basically it takes all the fields and create text boxes for each field with the field name as the label for that text box. I will show you the form wizard. You can have the form design also. I'll show you that also. Form wizard is basically works as same as the query wizard or the report wizard. You will select the table. In this case, it is easier when you have to take the data from two different tables, but right now we have only one table to work in. So we have this, you can either select one by one. Right now I'm not going to select this year group and the tutor, because in basically in the start we don't have these fields. We will add them later, and I'll show you how to add existing fields into the table. Next, columnar, tabular, same as the datasheet, in the datasheet view, or the justified. This justified is useful when we have, like, if like university admission forms, they have huge collection of input data, so they have to use it like this. But right now we just use columnar. The name of the form can be, now generally it is um, suggested that you use FRM or any like form, full form of the FORM name, to in the start or at the end of the name of the form, to identify it from the other objects. Like here it should be TBL students, TBL tables, TBL teachers, query, like it should the name should identify the type of the object of the access. So right now I'm going to use, as already I have students, so I'm going to use FRM students, or you can have students form or something like that, because the title will be the at the top title of the form, students form. Open the form to viewer, enter information, or modify the form design. Both you can select. Of course you can go later to the design form. Now here is the same uh, layout, just like the reports we have been working on, so it will should be very easy for you. This is the title. You can, let's just uh, increase, you can change the, now of course you should not waste your time during the exam, but you should know how to do all this if required. This is the black, the background shouldn't be blue, it should be, you can see when you click here, I'm clicking here, you can see this is the property sheet for the form header. This is the form header. Name is form header, visible, yes. Height, back color. Now this is, you can change it to any other that you like. This is very useful because when you are making specifically for different type of audience and for different organization or companies, then you have to use the same color scheme that they are using for their all their stationery or everything. Then we have the detail part. Again, visible, height, background colors, something that you want to change or not change, is up to you. Now here is something that I would like to change. I will select them all and reduce the width as it is not much needed as they have provided us, or I'm going to reduce the height also. Okay, I'm going to change the, now all this is have to be taken care of because like the task says that you have to make the data entry form that enables the students to enter their own data. Now if you give this to any student, for example, they will not know what is F names, maybe they don't know, most of them will know, most of them will not know. So like English, maths, what is this English, maths, science, even if you have made a database and you give it to me to enter the data, then I won't know what you I have to do here. So student ID, or you can write full questions also. What is your first name? Student first name, or you can just write first name. Then we have last name. Mostly we use last name for name. English tutor, as we have the initials in this field, so we will write initials or code or whatever you want to write. Maths tutor initials. Now this you have to do in case that your form has to be done by a specific audience, so you have to take care of that audience. If it is a like a simple admin personnel, then I think you can leave it, but still change the name of the fields of the labels so that it's easier to understand what they have to do in the specific text box. So I'm going to reduce this, all this. Then we have the form footer. You want to, mostly you of course you will be asked to enter your name and everything. We have the same tools available in the form design as in the report, so it should be easy. We have a text box, we have a label, we have a button. You won't not be asked to use the buttons here. For the name, if you are asked to enter your name in your form footer or header would be here, so you can use a label to write your name, candidate number, and center number. And I will recommend that you change all this to black color because you will be printing in monochrome, so it should be visible. Or here you can have date and time also. Include date, include time. I don't want to include time, I just want the date. Where did it go? Here. So you can move it to your footer here. Is equal to date, of course, you know this is the date function. This gives you the system date, so make sure your system date is correct. Now here I left the two fields. Okay, first of all I want to show you that this detail, there is something called a data here form. Basically this form is not directly available in by clicking here. You have to select it from here. Auto read, all this is the labels, the text boxes, the different parts of the form are properties of the forms are available here. Now I want to see the form. Caption, students form, default view, a single form, or these are different. You can see continuous forms, data sheets, whatever, but we are just using single forms. Now here is the data record source. Where is the source of the records coming from? You can see when you click on the arrow, So all the queries and the tables are available. You can change the record source here. In case you select a different table when you are making the form, so you can simply change it from here. So don't go into the other properties. You can have in the form, like if you have if you need the fields from two different tables, then you can make a query and select the query here. Now you can see all the queries are also available here. Okay, so this is called a bound form. A bound means this form is bound to the table students. This student ID is bound to the uh, this field, student ID field. So whenever you enter something here, it will go and be saved into a new record in this field. You can see the properties of this student ID. Control source is the student ID. Okay, this is the list of all the fields available in the student table, because we selected in the form we selected the record source, that is the table students, and each text box or the label can correspond to a specific field. Okay, we can have the validation also here, validation rule. You can have the validation text, but we always use it in the table, so we don't need it right now. We don't need it over here. Now for example, I accidentally delete this uh, field. What can I do about this? In the design, you have the option of add existing fields. Insert a field into this view based on an existing field. So existing field list for available for this list, I deleted the size. You can double click on it and then insert it again. Okay, now here I left the year group and the tutor. I can simply again put it like this. Now this is in case, like in your book it was like first make the table that did not contain the tutor and the year group, then make the form, and then insert new fields into existing forms. So if you have to insert new fields into existing forms, you have to first insert them into the design view of the table itself. When they are created in the table, then you can put it in the form. On the form there um, are only some cases where, for example, there are some calculations that don't need to be in accordance with the table, but mostly all the text boxes should be corresponding to some field in the table. Now for the year group, we have school year between 7 and 11. We have this number either 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. We have 5 options. So we can use the option box. I will show you two types of options here. Design. Either you can use an option box or you can use a combo box. A combo is like a drop down list. So I want the combo box to get the values from another table or query, or I will type in. This depends on your scenario. If you already have a table or another query that you can get the values from, then you can use that. I will type in the values that I want. So again, this is the same, year 7. We have year 8, or you can simply write 9, 10 and 11. Number of columns 1. Store that value in this field. Whatever value you want to select in the combo box, where should it go? Should it be saved somewhere, or just remember that value for something else? So for now I want this value to be in our year group. So I need to remove this, because in our field only the numbers can be stored. I'm going to decrease this height also, width. Store that value in this field, year group. What label would you want? Year group. Finish. So you can see, now I'm going to go to the form view. And now it is stuck. So let's give it some time.